Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing this morning? I am Star-Lord New Thor 7, your planetary defense commander. And I've been doing this for quite a while now. And I've been doing it well. You may not like my style, but my information is usually pretty solid. And what I'm saying is, it appears we have a very clear and present danger to the east coast of the United States. Probably in the next, starting Sunday. But this is one to watch because the GFS model is showing something that has potential to sit and spin, churn and burn in the Atlantic. We're talking about possible future Hurricane Chris. It has a 70% chance to develop in the next 48 hours and an 80% chance to develop over the next 5 days. Now, so this is it, churning and burning up towards New York, Massachusetts, New Jersey, and this is it, churning and burning near Kitty Hawk, Virginia, North Carolina. And the weather has been weird. Now, if we look at the data here that shows all the models collectively show it kind of sitting and spinning here for a while before it decides what to do and then take off. And just a day ago, they were saying it was absolutely no threat to land. Now the model shows it landing somewhere near possibly Nova Scotia or Greenland or rotating through here. If you combine that with this data, wait, where did it go? Here. Invest 96L, which will probably become future Hurricane Chris, or could become future Hurricane Chris. Here, it is shown as either possibly Category 3 hurricane. Two models show it as a possible Category 2 hurricane. And then you have two models showing it here as a possibly a Category 1 hurricane. And the other half have it as a tropical storm. I guess this one takes it. It's the third one that takes it to Cat 2. So, at least half are suggesting it is a Category 1 hurricane or higher, possibly Category 3. And remember, it shows it just sitting and spinning for a while. And now, if we look here, Category 3 would be up to 129 mile per hour winds. Even though Category 2 can be anywhere from 96 to 110 miles per hour. So, if this thing just sits and churns and burns for a couple days, we will run down the model, that could definitely cause major problems. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be a hurricane. I mean, the data has been changing rapidly. Like, for example, here, Tim Ballasty, Irish Eagle, sorry for writing barrel off. I looked at 0 models and read my Twitter timeline, thus assuming you were all correct. You all owe me an apology. Actually, I do not, sir, because I am Star-Lord New Thor 7, and I have been talking about the Atlantic Ocean and Gulf of Mexico situation since the month started, and I believe on the 4th, I said that I'm worried about Puerto Rico. Are you ready for a hurricane? I'm worried about Puerto Rico. After talking about these systems, that was when I kind of started to get worried. And now that it has become a hurricane faster than I thought, the cone of wind has extended, and some cones have Puerto Rico in the damage area. And Puerto Rico only has 85% of its power grid up and running. So if they take another Category 1 hurricane, it could be devastating, with thousands of more lives lost after losing over 5,000 people to Hurricane Maria last year. Now here we are looking at precipitable water. This is Beryl here. This is some new thing that's just popped up. But look at how it's already starting to try and spin, and that is a lot of precipitable water. And so you have, we're in like a weird retrograde system at the moment, where the normal flow is going west to east, but then you have some stuff flowing in from east to west, south, up and under, like a sucker punch. So here is Barrel, here is Invest 96, which we were watching, and they don't really predict it to do much until Monday or Tuesday. Like, okay, we're going to watch here. I have it on, these are wind gusts, because the models aren't really lining up specifically. And overall, all I'm saying is that if you were in Puerto Rico, or you were anywhere from Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, all the way up through New York, through here, I would definitely keep your eye on this situation. Because the Atlantic got extremely active really fast, apparently. So we're into Sunday. And we watch our low pressure system begin to start to form. And notice how we're into Monday and it's still kind of sitting and spinning there, trying to grow. Now we're into Tuesday and it's definitely sitting and spinning and growing. And then it begins to move a little like a blob. We're into Wednesday. So, you know, if that thing took Sunday to Wednesday at 7 p.m. to go from here to here, no matter what category it is, that could cause a whole lot of coastal flooding, wind damage, problems. So that is only, you know, the trouble could start on Monday, which is only a few days away. So I think more people need to be aware of this. And I'm not saying it's definitely going to be a hurricane, or that it's definitely going to be dangerous, or that it's definitely going to cause problems. But here it has it hitting Maine. Boom. Here's our first landfalling hurricane. And before hurricane season started, I predicted that we will get hit by 2 or more hurricanes this hurricane season. And last year, if you're new, I predicted before hurricane season started that we would get hit by 2 or more hurricanes. And it happened. And so I look at different factors. I look at the sun. I look at all the volcanoes. And it's amazing to me how much time I have to spend. Like this giant coronal hole, I mean, sunspot, though we don't name them or number them. And then they're on the opposite side of the earth. When this turns around, that's probably when that Hurricane Chris will be sitting and spinning. And the sun always increases, in my opinion, the hurricane activity. It's part of the reason I called the hurricanes last year. And this is Barrel. On the models, this is total cloud water, but it shows it pretty compact with a pretty good wind field, and that's Puerto Rico right there. So this could definitely do some damage to either Puerto Rico or the other islands. It's a very serious situation. I don't know why everybody keeps downplaying everything. Like the noctilucent cloud field, which is like the clouds above the clouds above the clouds by the North Pole. I've never seen it this big before. And, you know, it's weird that I have to spend so much time sometimes arguing or debating with scientists saying, all right, we have an erupting volcano in Alaska that's been erupting. Cleveland. We have Hawaii that's been really erupting bad for 2 months now. And then you have the Guatemala volcanoes erupting, which killed a bunch of people. And then you have the Galapagos Islands had 2 volcanoes erupting. So you have 4 live active, pretty much Pacific, almost Gulf of Mexico volcanoes that have been going off or have gone off. That is going to add variables to the atmosphere and the ocean heating. And, you know, people have been like, no way. I'm like, what? You're talking about solar activity, volcano activity, changing, you know, the variables involved in our atmosphere? Yes, it's a real deal, man. Pull your head out of your ass for a minute and let's think ahead. No disrespect, but I'm saying, like I was talking a couple days ago. And so that's what I'm saying, that if it can get up to 100 mile per hour wind speeds and just sit and churn and burn, we need to watch out, because we've taken a lot of damage since the start of 2017 to infrastructure and private property. And this is the situation right now. I've been talking about for almost a week that the ocean looks extremely crazy, wild, and it's got a lot of things going in a lot of directions, a lot of which way. So what I am saying is that people need to stay aware, have a plan, be prepared for the worst case scenario. The data almost seems to be changing dramatically overnight, almost every day now, in some way, shape, or form. So going by this data, saying some of the models are predicting a 1 through 3 category hurricane right off the coast where there are, 110 million people, and it's supposed to sit there and just spin for a couple days. This is definitely something that more people should be talking about and getting information out, because they're now catching up with Beryl, saying, oh yeah, Thor was right, although they're not saying that. By Brooks Garner, the National Hurricane Center's forecast for Beryl yesterday dissipated it before reaching the islands. Now they say it'll slam as a Cat 2. So yeah, I was talking about that. We need to be prepared for at least a Cat 3 on Beryl. And then I was worried about Puerto Rico. And then some of the models have it possibly living past the Antilles and the islands. So the hurricane season has gotten really active, and eclipse season doesn't even start till 5 more days. So prepare for it to get wackier than wacky. And so I suggest that everybody take a break from talking about politics, because that doesn't help us much, and we have a live weather situation on our hands, and that we are all Americans, including Puerto Ricans, and we're all in this together. It's time to wake up, because Puerto Rico was decimated. Hawaii's having major volcano troubles, and now we got a hurricane in the Atlantic that is heading towards American territory, and we have this weird thing, which seems like, by all intents and purposes, if the data is anywhere near correct, it could cause some pretty big problems. Maine, boom. So yeah, I mean, this shows we got a hurricane going into Maine, and there's over Boston, like, it could be devastating. So, oh, another thing. I've been having this YouTube channel for 5.5 years. How I make my money is off donations. And so if I was wrong all the time and was trying to fearmonger or scare people, I wouldn't be able to continue to do this, because YouTube pays me less than pennies on the dollar. So I rely and depend on donations from people to continue to pay my bills, pay my rent. And so, this like my third extremely active, really good hurricane season. I kicked ass last year, so I don't really want to worry about people who have not adjusted to my system yet, because it seems to be pretty solid. And so, I would cross-reference it against other sources, especially if you're along the coast, but it's definitely now is the time to start paying attention. And that I love you guys. Anyway, stay cool. But the Chris situation also has me worried. I got like an ulcer. Yeah. Anywho, but so this is, it's something to keep an eye on. Definitely pay attention. All right? It has been weird. I need everybody to come together. Let us give up the divide and conquer bullshit that the media keeps cramming down our throats every day, all day. You can take a break from discussing your passion issues of abortion or guns or whatever. Landfalling hurricanes that kill Americans is something that it's real, and it's now possibly on the table. So don't be scared, but have a plan, be prepared, and stay aware, please. Thank you. God bless everyone. Talk to y'all probably pretty soon. Stay cool.